What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Here's another one from the vault. Paranormal Activity. This movie is interesting to me, even though I'm not a huge fan of it, just because at the time it was thought that the viral success of the Blair Witch Project could never be replicated. Found footage was very popular and definitely still trending, but it was believed that that was lightning in a bottle that can never be recaptured. And Paranormal Activity proved that wrong, becoming one of the most profitable movies of all time. You know, on a $15,000 budget, it made like $400 million or some ridiculous amount of money. It follows basic found footage, tropes and conventions. It's about a couple who's been experiencing some weird events at their house, weird noises and like footsteps or like banging and clanging around. And so the boyfriend buys a camera so that he can document everything at night and they can see what's going on. And things start to escalate a little bit. They bring in a psychic to try to help him, and he's like, this doesn't sound like ghosts to me, it sounds like it's a demon. And then the girl kind of reveals that, hey, this stuff's been happening to me all my life. And so that creates a little bit of tension between the couple, because he's like, you didn't tell me this when we moved in together. And then over time things escalate, and then eventually whatever happens. The whole thing takes is seen through the camera. And it's basic found footage. The difference here is that it's very minimalist. There's very little backstory provided. The characters have almost no depth. I mean, it does feel like a cheap ghost hunting show, and that's why it worked. That's why people thought that some people thought it was real. Not everybody thought it was real, obviously. But it does have a little bit of grounded realism to it because it is so minimalist. By the same token, though, that's going to really irritate a lot of people who are like, horror movies need more than a door shutting on its own and 10 seconds at the end of the movie. It's just going to be your perspective on found footage. Do you think it's what you don't see that's scary? Do you think that less is more? If you do, then you're probably a found footage fan and you'll greatly appreciate how they did Paranormal Activity. If you think that that's cheap and lazy filmmaking, which is a valid valid opinion just as much, then you're not going to like Paranormal Activity. I think it falls somewhere in the middle. I definitely don't think it's one of the worst found footage movies. I mean, I just watched Found Footage 3D, and Paranormal Activity is like Citizen Kane compared to that movie. The one thing that I don't like about it is that the characters are not only unlikable, but they're just super dull. There's really no reason to invest in them whatsoever or care what happens to them, which is kind of nice too, because I like to root for the entity in these kind of movies, so that was kind of nice. But it would have been cool to have neat characters that you were like, man, I hope this person doesn't die, to get invested a little bit. I can't really recommend it to anybody except found footage horror fans, but if you're a fan of found footage, then definitely check it out. I just rented it through on demand to watch it. For this video is made pretty close to Halloween, so I was just gonna do a rewatch of the whole series, for Halloween. So I don't have a disc or anything to show you, but it's found footage, so it's never gonna look fantastic. It's always gonna look like a home movie. So again, I can't really super recommend the movie, but I do think it's not an upper tier found footage, but definitely an above average found footage. And just the story behind the movie is really interesting. And the fact that they were able to do so much, with so little, it's just interesting to me. So that's Paranormal Activity. If you like this review, check out my website, markfusion.com. I got a full write-up of Paranormal Activity, and I'm working my way through the sequel, so by the time that you see this video, there'll probably be other reviews in the series up, and they'll probably be here on the playlist as well. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at markfusion. You can also check out my Patreon if you want to get exclusive content. But the best way to help me out is hit that sub button. It's free and easy, and I promise I'll get a nice little endorphin boost when I get the notification of a new sub. It really helps me grow the channel and keep providing content. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I appreciate it, and see you later.